Welcome folks to Girls Frontline show overview. Is this game fun or could be fun? Well, fun is a subjective thing, but to me the game is not particularly fun, and that's because I come from Girls Frontline 1, which was like a little bit more complex than this one. Now, if you are new to the franchise, you might enjoy this game. This is the sequel to Girls Frontline 1. It doesn't share many of the lore, aside from a couple of elements. So you can start this game relatively fresh. You still need to understand a few things like what a T-doll is, how we got to this point, but the story takes place kind of fresh. You're still the commander, you're still gonna meet some of the people from the first Ghost Frontline, but so far I've not met Sangris Ferry or anything else. So what is this game? This is basically become a gacha. Now the first Girls Frontline was not so much of a gacha because you could get everything without paying. You would pay for cosmetic things and quality of life things. Not much for getting T-dolls. You could get everything. Now this is a tactical XCOM like game without the miss chance. Basically you always hit the enemy. What this game does is, okay, read what skills do, apply the skills, get your tanks into cover, attract the attention of the enemy, and use everyone else to, kill the enemy. So without further ado, let's go and let me show you what this is all about. We can do some, I don't know, boss fights. We can do boss fights. Alright, cannot do this, cannot do this, cannot do this. Well, fantastic. Let's do something I can do actually. Let's do this one. Special announcement. Let's start combat. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Most people say it can be autoed. That is true, but past a certain point, you definitely cannot auto this. Okay, why? Oh, I have 5 people I have. No, you're not gonna be my 5th person. I need someone like Litara, please, in place of you, I think. Yes. I also need you Veplay in place of her, and we should be ready to go. Bring my tank over here. Let's get ready. Alright, as you can see, this is pretty much XCOM. You can see that there is cover, half cover, and there are some enemies in cover over there. You can see some elemental things over there. These are the stats of our T-doll. This is the defense. It's a new mechanic, but for now let's just think about blowing stuff up. We can shoot here and get this guy, or we can attack this guy. I think I want to destroy this guy first. Let's do that. It's gonna destroy the cover, and applies vulnerable. So before we do that, can I actually buff my T-doll? And this is the T-doll. You buff your T-dolls. I don't care if she's not in cover. All the better. The enemy will target her, hopefully. So when T-dolls are close to each other, they will gain an action support, which you can use only once per turn, basically, and it's just some help while shooting. We can use some abilities here to do our damage. We can exploit. There you go, cover has been destroyed. Litara, you can take care of this guy. Well, she doesn't have the damage, but I mean, well, sure. There you go. And now we can use Veplay to mop the floor with her. You could use this conveyor belt. There's always something with these things. Okay, this is nasty, but we're gonna take the damage. That was a lot of damage. Well, aside from me sucking and not thinking through this stuff, I'm playing on 3 times the speed, basically. But this is the game, and as you can see, it's pretty different from Girls Frontline 1. A lot more different. Alright, let's drop some healing here. Maybe I should slow down the fight. so you can see a little bit better. Let's get out of here. And let's destroy these guys. There you go, applying some debuffs. And now we go for the kill. And he's down. Now you can go over here and do some shenanigans, I guess. Or you can go over here and deploy your ultimate. It's not that good. So we can use this one to kill maybe you. Okay, you get some action support from this one. What do I want to do? There's a lot of things you can do here. Man, I don't really like the ultimates of the T-dolls. Look at this one. What is this supposed to mean? What is this? It doesn't matter. Let's go destroy things the way, do damage, do stuff. Go! Yeah, this is the game. Lots of debuffing here. There you go. Good. Now let's block this guy because I know this guy is probably gonna try and go for Nemesis. So let's just... Ooh, I can do this. Okay. We can probably kill this guy. And down he goes. So this is combat. It is what it is, guys. You may like it, you may not like it. This is combat. It is interesting when it comes to fighting some bosses, because you have to read the description. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Also, I am 10 levels below the recommended requirements. Thank you for bringing the sniper behind enemies. Wait, what? There are more people. Well, that's fantastic. I just aggroed everybody else. I think you get the point of the combat, by the way. I don't think there's anything else I can add to the combat, but you get the gist. We're getting some action support. So this is the combat, basically. You have to surround your enemies. You can use your environment here. Let me retreat from this fight. No, I just want to exit this fight. Thank you. So this is the combat. You have the tank, the DPS, the healer or support, and then you have the flanker or bruiser. Pretty standard thing. Second, we can go to the refitting room and we can see how to power up our T-dolls. Yes, whatever you say. So we can change weapon. Unlike the first girl's Frontline, the T-doll is not tied to the weapon, but to the weapon type instead. So we have this weapon, which is not Groza's starting weapon, and we can change it if we want. There are different weapons here. I don't know why blues exist. They're useless. They do not have anything unique, but there's nothing unique about these weapons. They are absolutely high quality designs here. These weapons are absolutely amazing. It's like super high quality content here. Sorry, super high quality yeah, graphic design and attention to detail. Sadly, the gameplay is a little bit lacking, but it is what it is. You may like it, you may not like it. Again, we can change the attachments. For a weapon, they will the changes will be reflected in the weapon, as you can see. So you can customize your weapons as much as you want. Typical things about weapons in games. You have your skills, you can level up your character here. If I want to level up, I'm gonna throw some training. We can skip the sequence, and that's how you increase your levels. Then we have the typical gacha stuff that I hate. It's fortification. Basically, by summoning, you get the awakenings or constellations, or in this case, fortification. Every gacha has its own name for this stuff, and don't ask me. But they removed the dummy linking, so there is no more dummy linking. This is instead what we need, which is even worse in my opinion. And then we have the typical skill tree that you can, you need to unlock in sequence to get the bonuses. And you can place those bonuses here. You can make your build by placing these things here. Alright, this is how you power up your T-Doll. You also have costumes if you fancy those. So there's also that. And these are the T-Dolls, as you can see. There you go. Now, because I got a copy of this weapon, I'm gonna show you what you can do. You can calibrate, and if you have a copy of the weapon, in typical gacha style, you can calibrate. That means that now you're gonna go level 2, and the main ability is gonna increase in power. So, this is another system in the game. So basically, they turn this game into a full-fledged gacha, basically, which I'm not sure it's gonna turn out good for them. But, it's their game, they can do whatever they want. Events are amazing. Wasteland Impact, it's basically a Nikki Goddess of Victory style base event. You have bikini T-Dolls shooting enemies here. It's like Nikki, you move your cursor, you shoot enemies, and you get the rewards. Then we have Azar Patrol, which is, it's something that you basically, it's like Minefield but with fights. And then we have the story mode of the event with Ulrid and Suami and Snevznaya, something like that. And then we have Litara over there. That's the current event. We then have the dormitory, the public area. Now, when I say high quality, look at this animation. She's standing there and she does her own things. It's always the same thing, but she now pours some rice tea in here, or wine, whatever it is, and she drinks, and then she goes to, relax, and then read the books again. Lots of high quality stuff here. The dormitory, this is where most people with lonely issues will go to, and you can change the pose of your T-Doll depending on how far you can take the T-Doll. You can change the outfit here if you want to spend some cash. See, this is a good thing about gacha, being able to buy cosmetics and support the game through the purchase of cosmetics instead of gacha, but they went the gacha route. I don't know why. You can give them gifts to increase their affinity, and with affinity you can get some increase in their stats, and you also get some summons. Alright, that's the thing. We can also change the camera. And now, just because I want to show you the amount of attention to details, let's switch to Kolfni. There you go. Not that pose, I want a playing game pose. Alright, you might think, okay, cool, she's playing with this, but it must be a black screen. Well, you will be wrong. Coffee, play the game. Gee, bro. She's playing what looks like a Metal Slug, but with Girls Frontline, with a sprite and one of the Variegator boss sprites. So this is the attention of details, and it's animated. Look at that. So this is very, very, very. I don't like the T-Dolls behavior though. I really don't like how they keep on, being kawaii and all those things. I really don't like that. It's something I hate with a passion. Is there anything else I can show you? The visitor room, or maybe, I don't know, storeroom? I don't know, I just don't know. Visitor room, maybe? No, this is where you summon. It's a typical gacha. See, the game has become a gacha, literally. Can I summon this, by the way? Sure, let's go. And we got Cheetah, okay. Fantastic. Now we can go and I'll show you how to upgrade that. Go to fitting room. We can go to Cheetah, and there she is. We can go fortification, and we can fortify. Now, why do I say the gameplay is not as good as the first one? Well, I'm recording my screen, so if I switch here, I can show you what I mean. This is the staple of Girls Frontline franchise. This is the formation screen. Now, as you can see, each T-Doll buffs a certain type of T-Doll. So submachine guns buff assault rifles buff some machine guns. And as you can see, it's all about placing your T-dolls so that you can get the maximum amount of buffs, and that's the formation Tetris. It's amazing, it's great, it works, and it's fun. The second part is this. This is your mission, okay? So you start here from the command post, you deploy your echelon, and then you start moving around. When you conquer a heliport, you get an extra action point, which means you can move one extra square. Or you can deploy another echelon and gain another action point. So you can play with more than one squad during one mission, and each of these guys is a fight. So you can see, and your objective is to conquer the enemy command post. And in this case, we have one boss fight right here. I don't remember the name of this boss fight. It's one of the ringleaders. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while. And you have rations and ammunitions. And if you run out of rations, I don't remember what happens. If you run out of ammunitions, your girls will do not fight anymore. They just stand still. There are some strategies you can employ for corpse dragging. But generally speaking, this is better than what we have now. Because what we have now is simply, okay, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, mission 4, with no variation, no strategy here. And the good thing is that the objectives of Ghost Frontline 1 were like capture all the nodes or win within a certain amount of turns, which would imply that you will need to maximize your capturing. For instance, you could drop here one T-doll and move one Chew, which would allow you to capture this square, and because you have encircled this one, you will automatically capture this one. And then you move here, or maybe deploy a T-doll. That is, to me, what makes Girls Frontline 1 superior. And this is just for the story. Every event had its own thing with the map. You had also night missions, which would require you to have a handgun team, because you will not see jack shit in the night, and handguns would allow you to see the adjacent, would allow to see you more than one square further. You will also need attachments, and that's where you will get attachments. You will get T-dolls by fighting these monsters, and each T-doll at a certain drop rate. But during night missions, you will get attachments instead of T-dolls by fighting the enemy. So it was a very grindy but fun way to play the game, because you could deploy multiple teams with different compositions. For instance, you had the typical SMG AR team, which was the generalist team. You will send these girls first, establish a foothold, and fight general enemies. And then you had specific combinations like handgun and rifles, which really didn't come into play until later because handguns are very weak. So it's a very difficult team to manage, because you have to micro them a lot. But you would use them to fight enemies with armor, and then you have your shotgun and machine gun team, which is the high burst armor tanking. This is more like evasion tanking, the SMG, while shotguns were the armor tanking, damage reduction tanking. You would deploy these T-dolls and you would conquer the map. Now in this game, sadly, there is none of that. There is no interaction between the T-dolls aside from the action support. The only interaction you get between them, so it's basically elemental damage and some debuffs, but there is no interaction for the debuffs. It's just elemental damage basically. So it's really not as deep as the first one. Like, I can place any T-doll here, but there is no interaction between them. So machine guns here do have no synergy with shotguns, as far as I can tell. There's really no reason for me to make a team. All I can just push with the main team here and just keep going. So this game has become a gacha in all senses. The shop is pretty good. I was able to get all the tickets. What is that? Neural integration? Maybe? No? Growth stack? Yeah, I already got all these things, the extra tickets. It's okay, but it's just a gacha now, so it lost its charm for me. And I struggle after a week to keep playing the game. The story is great. I mean, it's great. It has some nice cinematics. The dialogue is a little bit on the weak side, but you know, the cinematics are great. There's a lot of high quality, and I cannot show you because you know that's spoilers. But you know and that's everything honestly. But we can go to public area and see if we have anything else to show you. I don't know. I always forget how to do that. But you have the patrols. You can send your T-dolls with certain qualities on patrols. And then you have the income here, which allows you to produce some resources daily, convert some resources, and store some extra energy when you are filled up here. And that's the game, honestly. That's it. That's the depth of the game we got this time. I'm not not particularly interested in, you know, keeping myself glued to this game. Unlike the first Girls Frontline, I really don't see a point in playing this game because it's not, it's lacking. Should they turn around and insert formation buffs and deploy multiple squads? They have a system like Girls Frontline 1? Yeah, sure. But it's the same as with Sword of Convalaria, and the game is high quality, but it lacks the staying power, and that's my opinion. Now, you've seen the game. I've showed you one fight. Trust me, the game is the same. There's no variation. You have your tank, you have your DPS, your healer, and your sub DPS maybe? Some kind of extra. And that's it. That's everything there is to this game. So, if you want to download it, go to Steam. There is a release notice. It's not available on Steam, but you can click on the release note and it will take you to the site of the game, website. You can download the game data so you can avoid the bootstrap from Steam and have some extra resources to play around. That's about it. Also, we have the hard mode for the story. If you want to play, it's not that hard, but you know. And you have some tutorials if you struggle. That's you know, some extra grinding you have to do. Anyways, that's it for Girls Frontline 2. Will I be staying here? I don't think so. I'm not particularly attracted to this game anymore. If there was a PC client for Girls Frontline 1, I would jump right into it, but as it stands, there is no PC client, only BlueStack. And yep, the same as Sword of Convalaria, I see no point in playing the game. It's just a daily grind. You don't do anything, there is no depth to the game. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you in the next gacha. Bye bye.